Hi, welcome to Road Bike Culture. I'm your host, Kevin Isley. Today we're going to talk about the Strava Effect. Strava is Swedish for strive. They launched the site in 2009. With the slogan, the social network for athletes, they set their sights on the upper third of athletes, as opposed to the bottom third like Nike Plus and MapMyFitness. And they did this by breaking down each ride into a segment and each segment into competition. We all know about the king of the mountain and the queen of the mountain. He or she who climbs that segment the fastest is crowned king and queen of that segment. But in the early days, you could descend that segment and get the KOM, and this is what got Strava into a lawsuit. At 5:22 p.m. on June 19th, 2010, William Kim Flint, 41 years old, was going down South Park Drive in the Berkeley Hills. When to try to avoid hitting a car, he hit his brakes and flipped. This ended his life. Mr. Flint was notified by Strava that his KOM had been taken from him on South Park Drive, and he was out to get it back. At the time of the accident, Mr. Flint's GPS showed that he was going in excess of 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit. On March 29, 2012, Chris Bouchier was descending Castro Street southbound towards Market when he went through a yellow light which turned red while he was in the middle of the intersection, and he went through the crosswalk on the other side, hitting a pedestrian. Steve Bouchier was taken to the hospital by ambulance, and while at the hospital, he posted on Mission Cycling Club's forum that he saw the light turn yellow, but he was too committed to the KOM to stop. So he put his head down, lunged forward, and went for it. And that is when he struck Mr. Wee. Strava now found itself in the middle of a lawsuit, but not by Mr. Wee's family. It was by Mr. Flint's parents, who finally said enough is enough, and they sued Strava for general negligence. A judge dismissed the case, stating that Mr. Flint assumed responsibility by undertaking a dangerous sport such as bicycle riding. As cyclists, we all assume responsibility, and I agree with the judge on that yes, you do assume certain responsibility, and we are all trying to make the roads more equal for us, holding cars accountable when they don't see us and they hit us, or they open their door, they rear end us, they flip us off, they try to punch us, or anything else that car people really try to do to us. We want to hold them accountable and be on even footing with them with laws of the road. So it's fitting that we should be held accountable to our own actions when a website pushes us to excel, because in a lot of cases, there is no way you can get a KOM without breaking some sort of law. But why do we do this? What is pushing us? Neuroscientists have studied Strava, and they have found that merely uploading data to Strava, your body releases dopamine. That is a pleasure drug that your body releases to you to make you happy, to reward you for something you're doing. And if you upload a PR, or better yet, a KOM, your body releases more dopamine. It becomes addictive. Strava has tapped into our reptilian brain for competition, so much so that if you can't hack it by going too hard, too fast, anything else, and you still need that KOM, they've come up with really interesting ways to cheat. Here are my 5 favorite ways that people have been cheating that I didn't realize anybody was doing until I was researching this article. It's ridiculous. Number 5, drafting a car. Yes, that's when you get behind your mom's Buick and tell her to drive at a certain pace so you don't have any wind. Only your mother would do this for you. Number 4, sitting in the Buick with mom. Seriously, if you get in a car and say, let's just hold this pace up this hill in a car while my Garmin's on, why are you doing it? Why? I don't understand this. It makes no sense. Number 3, using a motor on your bike. And I don't mean one of the big motors, or it could be one of those big motors on an electric bike, but people have really gotten the little ones that they find in the pro racers. People are ordering these kits on their bikes. People are getting any way to get a KOM. This is mechanical cheating. Number 2, digital EPO. There was a website called Digital EPO. You could download your GPX file from your Garmin, upload it to Digital EPO, adjust your speed, and then download that finished GPX and then put it on Strava. Yeah, people did this. And somebody thought of it and actually knew how to build a website that did this. Which brings me to number 1, real EPO. People are doping on Strava to get KOM. If you dope and you get that KOM and you sit on the top of the world with that KOM, which you didn't get paid for, which got you zero money, you just got to live with yourself that you doped to get it. Enough about the negative effect that Strava has on its users. It has also a very beautiful effect from the creative minds of the people using Strava. And it's no secret that San Francisco is the epicenter of this new art movement. In fact, 3 of the 4 of my favorite Strava artists are right here. Number 4, Ben Jones in Australia. He drew a goat around Perth, Australia. It is really cool to look at. Number 3, Chris Phillips with Lagunitas IPA. He drew this in Golden Gate Park on National IPA Day. That's just pretty awesome. Number 2, Chris Phillips as well with the Thanksgiving Turkey Day ride. 4 riders did it, but only 1 is really mentioned, and that's Chris Phillips. So if you were one of the other 3 in Mission Cycling, sorry, I couldn't find your names anywhere. Number 1, my favorite Strava art is by Murphy Mack with Marry Me, Emily. And it's a heart, and it's really beautiful. I wish I did this for my wife. And I just love what people are taking and doing with this app, or any app, and they create beauty with it. And go look at all the other stuff. There's Darth Vader, there's all kinds of Star Wars, there's a Yoda. There's so much, but I had to choose a couple for this, and I like these ones the best. One cool thing Strava's doing right now is their heat maps. It used to only be available to premium members, but now it is available to everybody. But what is a heat map really for? Well, it's data collection. And what are they doing with that data? They're selling it. For $20,000 a year, municipalities around the world are free to purchase the heat map. And what they use it for is they can create better bike lanes, and they can create better places for people to run and walk, because they're seeing the real way that people do this. And this is going to help them build infrastructure in new cities, new neighborhoods. It's really, I think, a great thing that they're doing with it, and it helps them make money and be profitable. And yes, they do scrub all the information about that single rider and their heat map from it, so nobody knows who you are, and they're not purchasing data about you. So from Strava tapping into our reptilian brain and creating massive amount of competition where we take huge risks with our own safety, to data collecting and art, what is their legacy really going to be? What is the Strava effect? And in my opinion, it just makes me a better cyclist. I like Strava a lot because I need accountability sometimes. And if I'm not going out for a ride with my friends, Strava gives me that accountability because I want my friends to see what I did even though I did it by myself. As a Strava member, I have 1 KOM and it's on Lake Street. And I did the 1.8 mile corridor in 4 minutes, 20 seconds. I know it's kind of funny, right? San Francisco 420. But I did it. I've had it since 2013. But as a twist of fate would have it, on March 2nd, 2017, I lost it. And I was researching this story and I lost my only 1 KOM. But I'm not going to go back and get it. I'm not going to try to recapture it because I ran a lot of stop signs on Lake Street to get that KOM, and it's not worth it. And I would never run the stoplight at Park Presidio and Lake, and I timed it one day perfectly, blazing through at 5 in the morning, all of those stop signs, and the light was about to turn yellow. I blasted through Park Presidio, just made it all the way, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. 4 years I've held that KOM and I've lost it. I'm not going back for it because it doesn't actually mean that much to me. I like PRs. Well, I think that just about covers it. The Strava effect. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you like this episode, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have anything to say about Strava, please leave it in the comments. I would love to know how Strava affects your life. And you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And until the next time, I hope to see you out there on the road.